What can California landlord do if an apartment needs to be updated but needs the tenants to move out to remodel it? Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Warrior on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, we do run across landlords from time to time that need to renovate apartments and they need their tenants to move out, okay? And in places where or situations where the Tenants Protection Act of 2019 may apply and that landlord needs cause, or even if a landlord does not need cause under the Tenants Protection Act, we get this question quite often: can a landlord terminate a tenancy to facilitate a renovation? And generally, under the Tenants Protection Act and many local eviction control ordinances, usually the answer is yes. Now, your mileage is going to vary whether or not you need to comply with California's Tenants Protection Act or a local ordinance that dictates the terms of any, what we usually refer to this to as a substantial renovation to terminate the tenancy. Basically, that ground exists under the Tenants Protection Act. It's a no-fault, just cause provision in the Tenants Protection Act that allows a landlord to terminate a tenancy for that reason, okay? And I'll talk about the Tenants Protection Act briefly here. So generally speaking, the renovation has to be something that the law deems as substantial, okay? And under California law, under the Tenants Protection Act, that generally means that the work contemplated is either going to be changing something structurally, a mechanical system, plumbing system, electrical system, or any combination of these items that generally requires a government permit, or if it's to abate mold or asbestos or some other dangerous condition, that might also apply as well too. Generally speaking, the repairs are going to have to take 30 consecutive days or longer to complete, and during any one of those 30 days, the tenant can't safely live in the property. Okay, that's basically the requirements in plain English. Okay, on the notice itself for the Tenants Protection Act, the landlord is going to have to describe with particularity what type of renovations are going to be performed, or the demolition of the building, the expected length of time, and if the work requires repairs, they're going to have to attach the actual permits from the local municipality indicating that, you know, the project's been approved, that type of deal. Okay, if the work doesn't require permits, such as you're abating like mold, that sort of deal, the landlord is going to have to attach a copy of the contract outlining the remediation work that needs to be done. Okay, so that being said, it is possible under the Tenants Protection Act to terminate a tenancy. Okay, now landlords still have to comply with every other California law aspect as to issuing the termination notice, such as if a tenant's lived there longer than 1 year, they're going to have to give 60 days notice. They're also going to have to provide at least 1 month's worth of move-out assistance under state law. Okay, and the landlord either can waive the last month's worth of rent, or they have to offer the tenant a payment within 15 days of issuing the notice. So there are other rules that could apply, and there are also little nuances as well too, because a substantial renovation, for example, is not something where, you know, like a kitchen remodel and a bathroom remodel. Okay, the tenant may not be able to live there to do those repairs, but the question would come to, does it take 30 days or longer to complete? And in many of those types of renovations, that doesn't qualify. What the law contemplates basically is, you know, you're basically tearing out the existing unit and like you're like modernizing it. Basically, that's the type of termination the law contemplates. But everyone's situation is factually different. That's why it's always best that before a landlord ever contemplates terminating the tenancy for substantial renovation, they talk with competent legal counsel to run their factual scenario before they issue any type of termination notice, because what you may think is substantial may not actually be substantial under the law, and so forth. So Landlords, if you're in the Northern California area and you need help terminating a tenancy for substantial renovation, feel free to reach out. We might be able to help out. You can hit our profile link below. It will go to our website and you can book a free case review to discuss your tenancy situation. Put your comments, questions down below. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Until next time, folks, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.